And then maybe later we're going to do something which I call radical truth. It is very strange in our lives to be able to tell the truth, because we are all accustomed to convenient little lies, white lies, this and that, to explain ourselves. When you are doing something serious, as we are doing now, it is not necessary to lie about anything. It is a rule that you should not lie to your team, your co-founders, the people who help you to create something. Never. Even if it's painful, even if it's extremely painful, your teammates are not your girlfriend, they're not your boyfriend. Don't lie. Just stay straight. It is the rule number one. We call it radical truthfulness. You have to be radical about the truth. The truth hurts sometimes, but it will make you so much better. So when you're building a team, don't lie. But why do I say that? Okay, I'm a philanthropist. I love other people, but you don't have to love others, but love yourself. Because when you lie to others, guess what? You're lying to this guy, you're lying to yourself. And in this type of business that we do now, which is extreme, because you are creating something new that never existed before, it is very important to not lie to yourself. So my confession to you is that I've done a lot of businesses that I lied to myself. And they were not so successful. But the times that I was radically honest, and it was absolutely truth, everything that I said was 100% truth, those times it was successful out of the ballpark. It was extremely successful. Because if you don't lie to anybody, and especially yourself, what you are creating, it is absolutely honest. And what happens to the people? Everybody appreciates honesty. Because honesty serves you better first, and then everybody else. Honesty is what differentiates a sustainable business from a non-sustainable business. Honesty about who I am, it differentiates the science from ideology. I want you to be scientific. I don't want you to study physics as I did. I want you to use data, real truth. That's the honesty I'm talking about. That's the truth. Don't go against the data, okay? So if you're honest and truthful to the science, to the data, to the intelligence that the world gives you, because there is a lot of intelligence behind us, then what you're going to do is going to be extremely successful. But if you start lying to yourself and lying to your teammates and lying to the founders and lying to your market and to everybody else, that's not a business I'm going to be in. It's not worth it. You are young, you have a life to live, For that life, to make it honest, it's going to mean a lot. It's going to mean a lot because we all become sustainable as a consumers as well. And when, this company lies to me and they tell me, a whole story, and on the back, I know it's whitewashing, I will never do business with them again. And the same thing happens with our teammates. So it's very important, it is very crucial for us to be totally honest, and I call this radical honesty, radical truth. What happens when you have radical honesty? You're not tired about doing it anymore because you have passion. When you don't lie to yourself, it's the true story, it's the true skinny, it's the naked truth. It's like walking out on the soft on the beach and going swimming naked, it's just you and nature. There is nothing in between. And in that way, you're actually having a tremendous appeal to everybody else. Because when you are honest, people can tell, 100%. And when you are a small team, developing a great idea, I asked some of you, there was a group, maybe two groups of people, they came to me because I said to you today, I'm not a judge, I'm a mentor. So we are trying a new experimentation now. We've all been involved in startups as judges and this. But this time, this is, I think, the first startup bus that actually has a mentor who travels with. And I want us to win. Not just because you have to win, because it's the game of life, but also because you have an opportunity to reach out, get out of me whatever you need, and believe me, there is plenty, and use it to be better than the others who don't have the same access. So the same thing goes with life, but when you come to me honestly, I know that you are true blue, I know that I can play with you, I know we can do great things together, but I don't have time for bullshit. You see, other people have a lot of time for bullshit, but I don't. For whatever reason, I've chosen my life, to be very interesting and very fast forward moving. So, try to do the same. And if you learn something from me today, it's the simple things. Radical honesty, radical optimism, and of course you are solving a problem, so you have to be optimistic that the problem will be solved. You are disrupting a marketplace that exists, and you are disrupting a society that has one way of doing, and maybe you're going to go the other way. And for doing that, you have to believe in what you are doing as being right, This is radical optimism. Everybody's going to tell you you are wrong. This is never going to happen. You're not going to succeed. Go get a job in the bank, whatever. And then, what's going to happen? You're not going to give up, right? Because if you give up, it means that you're tired. No, you're just going to take a nap, 10, 15 minutes, think about it, and get up, and keep walking. So, to be radically honest, it makes you extremely powerful. It makes you a samurai. Nothing to be afraid of, because there is no bullshit, there is no lies, nobody can hurt you, because you are honest from the beginning. You are not afraid of anything, and the people respond to that. There is a different light in the eyes of the people who are honest. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it, you go with simple people up in the mountains, and you see these people, they never lied in their life, they live with the weather, and the life that they create is important for us, because we live in the cities, and the cities are full of bullshit. All the advertisement that you see on the wall, is lies. If you have a television, I choose to not have a television, and I am a better person for that, because I don't want to expose myself to the junk and the lies. So I suggest that the new enterprises, that they have social value, they are also very sustainable, because they are honest. So, you might think, that this is bullshit, but I tell you, I'm an astronaut. Okay? I don't have the suit, but I'm an astronaut. But it is true, and I tell you one more. You are also an astronaut. Every single one of you. Every single one of you, you are an astronaut. Okay? Because we are all together traveling through space in a rock, in a star, at the speed of 238,000 miles per second. You see this Earth here? It's a spaceship. By rights, we are astronauts, traveling at a great speed. But this spaceship is a self-contained ecosystem. It is all we have. This is our home. And our home is traveling. But we have to take care of it, because it's a closed-loop ecosystem. So what inputs you have into it, they're the exact outputs that we will receive. There is no better definition of the mystical idea of karma than this. A closed-loop ecosystem. Inputs equal outputs. This is physics. But it's also karma. So think about it when you're doing a business. Think about your footprint. Think about, what is your impact a lot after the profit and loss statement. Some of you, they're doing social enterprise. I salute you. I think you're the greatest. Because when you're doing a social enterprise, you're already in the government of the spaceship. You're already thinking that somebody has to manage the affairs of this small ecosystem, this small spaceship that we all occupy our home. Because these people, they took an extra effort to think beyond the simple bottom line of profit and loss. So that's really honest. Because even if you don't think about it, the reality is that anything we do on this earth has multiple bottom lines. I know a lot of you went to business school and they tell you, you make a profit, you're okay, the investors are happy. Okay. It's bullshit. You need more bottom lines than that. They don't teach you in the business school, but you need more bottom lines. You need to invest in your community. You need to invest in the idea of sustainability. You've got to understand that in this earth, everything is accounted for. Even though if it's not written, on your accounting book, there are externalities that we have to account for. And how do you address that? Well, first of all, what I said, honesty. If we have honest accounting, we will account for all the resources that go into the production of what we do and the energy that goes into it. And we will account for it in a positive fashion to make us better. Because when you do proper accounting, you are far better than everybody else who doesn't. So to get you up and to say, I know you are tired, and I am confessing, and I want you to confess and say I'm tired, but you also understand that you are exposing yourself to a great new ecosystem of ideas. Because the biggest ecosystem that we have is not just the sphere that we occupy, but it's the ecosystem of ideas. So imagine the sphere, the earth, the atmosphere, and then the ideas. It's far better. Because the universe, you know what it is? It's an idea. We have never seen it. We have never seen the universe. I don't know, any of you have seen it, maybe, but I have not seen it. I studied physics, elementary physics, astrophysics. I have never seen it. Nobody has seen it. But we have an idea that we conceived, the idea in our head, and we put together theories that we based on mathematics, and we were able to estimate that this great universe is what it is, and how old it is, and how it came to be. So when you build a company, I have to tell you this, in the beginning, it's like that. You're making a concept, you're making an idea of what you're going to build. And the most important thing in an idea, the theory, if you will, is the vision. It's the number one thing. Have a vision and make that vision to be so powerful and so distilled that it can stand the test of anything and everything. A lot of people, I told you before, they will assault you. They will say, that's not worth anything. You're being stupid, that doesn't make sense. But if you go through the effort and you spend the time to go again and again and again and try this little thing, it's like finding the gold inside the metal in the cauldron of fire. You're going to distill your vision in one very good sentence. Because your vision is exactly how you see your universe. So when you're building a business, you're like God. You're creating a universe. It's really big shit, It's not simple stuff. You're really creating a universe, and if you think that way, how can you not be honest? And if you think it's difficult in 3 days to create a startup, look at the big guy. In 7 days, he created this whole thing. I mean, come on, guys, you can do it. And about sleep, well, I don't care about sleep. Take 10 minutes, and then carry on. Have a lie down, and then wake up and do it. But don't be afraid of creating something incredible, because you have to think very big. The universe is not a small thing, but when you are creating your own universe, it's like playing with planets and these incredible forces of creation. Please don't forget to make a sustainable atmosphere for the people who are going to occupy that universe, because you need a very fine chemical balance to survive, This earth is just so. This atmosphere is just the right kind of chemistry to allow us to have air to breathe, clean water to drink, sustainable food to eat. These are very important things. And when you make a new business today, you have to think of that. Otherwise, you're going to have people like me, not as a judge, but as a friend, who's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you're not doing your best. And I'll be honest, because I am honest. And I will not hesitate to tell you that you can do better. So today, what I'm going to tell you, I want you to be grateful for the criticism that you receive oftentimes. Because the people who give you criticism, even though that criticism at the moment, it hurts you, because it's doubt, it's uncertainty, it's fear. It actually helps you become better and create something really important. Everything that you get as criticism, don't look at it negatively, look at it as guidance. Guidance, the rules of the road kind of thing. So listen to it, don't accept it, don't embrace it, but become better. So the next time you can deflect it. And that is also part of the radical optimism. Because you got to have radical honesty and radical optimism in order to be a successful entrepreneur. But the three things that I ask of you today, and I absolutely want to ask you, even when you go to sleep tonight, you have to think of them. Really think of them and get them inside, is this. Please talk to your fellow members of the team and define very clearly in one sentence the vision. The vision is the absolute gospel of the universe you are creating. You could not create this universe without having a vision. What God said, in simple terms, in Aramaic, if you read the Bible in the original language, it was written by the apostles, Enachi in or Logos. In the beginning, there was the Word. In the beginning, Word, it meant the vision. So first you have a very well-defined vision before you can even try to think about the company. And even if it takes you 3 days to just arrive at the vision, for me that's good enough. Because the vision communicates everything. It's one sentence, it is not dubious, it has to be absolutely truthful. You're going to remove all the epithets. It's the process of removing. So imagine you have a big block of marble, you give it to Michelangelo and he can make David. That's what you do. Carve out the usefulness and keep the most important thing. So, the process of elimination and apheresis of everything, it allows you to come in one sentence with a vision. That is the thing that will serve you best for the rest of your life, for the rest of your business. The second thing is what you do with your teammates. The reason why I'm here today, the reason why you are here today, because you all have a mission to accomplish. So I'm working, and you are working, and you have a mission. And we are working to accomplish this mission with our friends, with our help. And I'm pretty grateful because, these wonderful people, they chose to invite me. So, it happened because they had a mission, and I had a mission. And the missions come together, and we say, okay, let's work together. We can do better, we can do good. So we are a team, and we are a team together too. But part of that mission is also to be very well defined, very clearly. So what I say to you, I'm available to help you, to mentor you, so you can win in your competition, but also to win in your life. Because I'm interested in creating sustainable enterprises that solve big problems that we are facing as humanity. And if you cannot find a big problem to solve, I have a long list, in my luggage. I'll give you, 10,000 different problems you can solve and make sustainable companies. But I'm sure you can think of problems you can solve. But please, think of that. Don't ever think of making money. The money will come if you do something useful and you solve a problem. Always is. So think of solving a big problem that people face. And if you can find one person who can benefit by your solution in your business, I can tell you there's a million others like that person. So make that connection, always. So defining your mission is the second job you have, and that's also equally important for that to become one sentence. One sentence vision, one sentence mission. And you think that would be enough? Well, all good things come in threes. So there's a third element. And the third element, once you get with your team, and you have established the vision, and you have defined the mission very well, the third element, the thing that makes you really excited to do it, is the method. Because there is a method in your entrepreneurial madness. And the method is simple. What am I going to do in order to accomplish my product? These are the steps. The method is the methodology. The method is, the useful guide, the map, to get you to a product that the market will accept. And the method, again, you have to define it in very simple terms. One sentence. And of course, then you make a list. But you have to have 3 basic sentences before you even think about an executive summary or before you even think about doing a business. And that is the main thing that should keep you awake at night. Because even when you are sleeping, this thing works in the background. And if your vision is clear, everybody will be attracted to you. They will come as co-founders, they will come as technical talent, they will come as supporters, they will come as finance, they will come as angel investors, VCs, you name it. But this big light, it's like the halo on top of your head, that the saints have in church. That is the vision. And without that, I'm sorry to tell you, you're not going to go anywhere. So if I am to wake you up now, and I know you're ready, to kind of go away and fall asleep, even for a little bit, with this idea that when you will wake, your vision will be very clear right up here. Because it's a product of honesty that comes from the heart, from the care, and the courage that you have to deliver this to the world, the optimism. Those are the elements that they're going to make you a great person. Not just an ordinary business person, not an ordinary entrepreneur, but a person that creates something sustainable, solving real problems for real people on this earth. And for that, I'm grateful to you, because I come to you also as a student, because every time I interact with you, I learn, and I learn a lot, because I see how can I do myself better next time. So together we can create better sustainable companies to solve bigger problems, because it's addictive. The first time you solve a big problem and you have a success, the next time you attack a bigger problem and a bigger problem. And you have some really big problems that when you really get the skills of solving problems, then you can solve them. But remember, honesty. Use science. Use real data and real people. And that is the honesty that we have, the radical honesty. Don't believe advertisement. It will hurt you. Don't believe your own Kool-Aid even. Just it will hurt you. Just try to stay as honest as possible, and then you will succeed. And along with that, maintain the optimism and the smile and the cheerfulness to be able to tell people who assault you, insult you, they undermine your business, to be able to tell them thank you. You have been really useful to me because I'm learning something from your perspective. And this is also very valuable. So accept the criticism, not in defending your position, but in changing your position so that other people can actually understand you better. It is a very useful tool to do what we call the entrepreneurial dance. Do you know what they call, all over the world, when the entrepreneurs go up and they make a presentation and a pitch, they use an Italian word. They call it passarella. It's like the models, they run up and down the runway. In Silicon Valley, they call it passarella. I don't know why, but because they see you like a model. So what do you pay attention when you see a model on the runway modeling new clothes? what is the first thing you look? Do you pay so much attention on the clothes or on the presence of the person and the beauty and the way that they walk? I'll be honest, you know what you pay attention. So you are that model. Make sure that your honesty shines, your positivity comes through, and the impact to the world. The product, the outfit, and all these things, not that important. So I wanted to leave you with that, and I wanted to thank you for listening to me. But most importantly, I don't want you to sleep without thinking of your vision. Every single vision that you have is the most important thing that you can bring to this life today, and to my life as well. So before we go away, I want us to say to each other, in about 3-4 minutes, to exchange your vision with the person next to you. In one sentence. You give him your vision, you give him, and you too. Please, let's do this. A quick vision exchange, but say it with love. Look at the person in the eyes and say it with love and exchange. Yes, please. Also kiss, yes, that's good, but please, exchange the vision. Come on.